Now let's discuss what is assimilation. When the food nutrients, they are absorbed, now they need to be used for growth, repair, right, and providing energy to the body cells. This is known as assimilation. So how this happens, how will you define assimilation, or how will you actually discuss what is assimilation? When the absorbed food materials, they are transported by blood and lymph is finally transferred to what? To blood circulation. And the blood transports these absorbed food materials to different body cells, where the food materials become integral part of the living protoplasm and are used for energy, growth and repair. So this is what do we mean by assimilation. Means the absorbed food materials, they become integral component of the living protoplasm and are used for energy, growth and repair. When we talk about assimilation, we talk in the sense of the assimilation of proteins, assimilation of carbohydrates, assimilation of fats. Let's discuss about proteins first. Well, the basic unit for this formation of the proteins is what? It is amino acids. So amino acid, they synthesize what? They synthesize proteins. So amino acids are not stored. They are synthesizing what? Proteins. But if there is excess of amino acids, then these amino acids can be converted into glucose first, right? They can be converted into glucose first, and then it can be converted into fat. Now this is stored. So excess of amino acids is not stored, it is just readily converted into glucose and glucose into fat. So this is how protein assimilation takes place. Now how amino acids, they actually convert into glucose by a process that we call as deamination. So as the name suggests, deamination means the removal of the amino group. So when the amino group is removed, then we have the formation of ammonia and then formation of urea. So this urea is excreted, right? So this is how proteins, they actually are assimilated. Means amino acid, they synthesize proteins, and if still there are excess of amino acids, they are not stored, they are converted into glucose by deamination process, that is the removal of the amino group, and this glucose is converted into fats, which is then stored in the body cells. This glucose can also be utilized readily for providing energy to the cells, means it need not to be converted into fat always. This glucose can be used as it is to provide instant energy, right? Next we have the assimilation of carbohydrates. Well, we have the absorbed form in the form of monosaccharides like glucose, galactose, fructose. These monosaccharides, they are stored in the liver in the form of glycogen. These monosaccharides are stored in the liver in the form of glycogen. So carbohydrate storage is there. When energy is needed by the body, this glycogen is converted into glucose by a process that we call as glycogen lysis, right? So this glycogen is converted into glucose to provide instant energy to the body cells by this process. So this is how assimilation of carbohydrates takes place. Then we have assimilation of fats. Now fats are generally stored in the subcutaneous layers, right? They are generally stored in the subcutaneous layers, and fats, they actually provide fuel to the body cells. They provide fuel to the body cells when they are required. So they are also the source of energy. They are also the main source of energy in the body, right? So they are stored in the subcutaneous layers, but the excess of fat storage can lead to several problems. So the fat that is stored in the subcutaneous layers, it should be at an optimum level that is required, that is needed, right? So in case of proteins, there is no storage of proteins. The excess of amino acids, they are actually converted into what? Glucose and then into fat, and then they are stored. In case of carbohydrates, when energy is needed, this glycogen, which is a stored form of carbohydrate in your body in the liver, is converted into glucose for instant energy to the body cells. Then fats are actually the main storehouse of energy, which are stored in what? In the subcutaneous layers of your body. So this is how assimilation takes place when these nutrients, they are used for energy, growth and repair of your body cells. I hope assimilation process is clear to you.